Good evening. It's Thursday, November 2nd. It's about 8:40 in the evening. And I really wanted to talk about my best friend's murder case concluded today. Really horrific case. He knew they were going to never get out of prison. And he never talks about anything until they've been convicted. Once they're convicted, anything that's in the public record, he'll tell me. But before that, being a devout Roman Catholic, my best friend, and that's kind of a little hint right there. Actually, I'm going to talk about, and I'm sorry about the last video, the motion, what do you call it, the motion stabilization, whatever, wasn't working too well or something. I'm sorry it was so jumpy, but I'm angry. Somebody who's been a really good friend to me and very helpful to me and stuff just put me on the spot when I've already told her that I'm a Jew, that my mother converted to Christianity. My mother never tried to convert me. I was her only child that became a biblical scholar, and generally a religious scholar of my many types of scholarship and many disciplines that and she ended up with a bunch of children that were fake Christians and, Christians for business reasons. I got a feeling this thing's going to go 20 minutes. Please, she really triggered me when she asked me a little while ago if I think that Jesus was my Savior. I already told her I'm a Jew. That's your answer right there. And that my mother had, please, this is the kind of house I grew up in. There was absolutely zero religious or political or racial indoctrination. As a matter of fact, my dad, grew up with and was, in a time when black men were forced to address white men as sir and mister in the Texas culture. By the way, I'm going to tell you this here in the process. The first Texans, many of us were stealth Jews. Oh, God. It's such a long topic. I could do like 3 hours on this. I don't really have the... See what I'm talking about? The anger keeps me from focusing, staying on point. Because I don't want to lose her friendship. But we Jews are under global attack. Let me remind you again, I had an attempted murder, an ice pick in my neck here from a meth head. That's what he lists right under on his Facebook or YouTube, or that he's a good church going and music and tech geek and stuff. But one of the first things he lists, that guy's about as far from being religious or moral in any kind of way. And the reason I'm in Pflugerville was because a bunch of gay black supremacists who claim to be the term is black, Hebrew, Israelite, Christian, Muslims, the most racist group in America. There's at least 15 million adults. I spent 15 years studying, quantifying that on June 14th, the night of June 14th, morning of June 15th, I was robbed by them, a one-armed cripple in a wheelchair, and one of them tried to kill me with a tree limb that was exact shape, weight, size of a baseball bat. Hit me upside the jaw. They could talk about this. One of my still didn't. Actually, he didn't even knock my. What a wimp! But it left me. When I first came to Pflugerville for the first month, it looked like I had a goiter. So that's twice in just the last few months. People have tried to kill me because I'm a fucking Jew. You know how many times I've heard Christian zealots talk about how we must convert the Jews or Jesus will not come back. You know, Christians haven't been very nice to us. In my opinion, that she was, Baron Rothschild did more for Jews than Jesus ever did. Jesus created that whole envy thing. You remember the video? A lot of y'all have watched it now. 70, 80, 90 of you. But one of the reasons we Jews are not overly fond of Jesus is because he created the concept of hell. We Jews don't believe that God is that evil. God admits that he's good and he will set up the whole satanic franchise in Isaiah 45:7. This is why my mother loved me, wouldn't dare convert me, is because I'm cogent, coherent, I can discuss the Holy Scriptures. When most Christians I know, they just pick and choose and they have some kind of, I'm sorry. And my mother, actually, I'm not going to name them. Let's just she joined the one Christian sect that is even more strict than Church of Christ. And Church of Christ, big time landowners and rich people were the Christian male frontmen for a large part of the stealth Jew part of my family that became. I'm Thomas Kent Kruger. I'm the great grandson of William Wayne Hill, and she's messaging me right now. No response. You're not going to get a response for a while. I'm not going to read it. You pissed me off. And you're interrupting mine. I'm the great grandson of William Wayne Hill, who, of his many brother-in-laws, since he had 3 white wives, this is 66 years before polygamy was legally ended on this country and on this continent in general. Oh God. Such a complicated subject. And it's just not the time to be jacking with me. My friend doesn't understand why I'm getting a different treatment from the business right behind me. She didn't even think that because in their records, because it's religious owned, that I'm listed as a J and she's listed as a C and not an M or a J or a Buddhist or I'd normally wear a kippah is what they're called. The Yiddish word is yarmulke. So I can see this is going to easily go 20, 25 minutes. I don't give a... I'm angry. I'm going to straighten some of you people out. If it were not for we wealthy, because to the best of all my knowledge and stuff, it was because there's 6 of them in a row in my family carrying the name and carrying I'm the keeper of my mother selected me because of my memory and the fact that I started walking and talking at 6 months of age, and her previous children were kind of slow to develop. I mean, they develop normally. But I do have a phenomenal memory. That actually irritates people, that you can remember every word they say, where they said it, when they said it, and their inflection and mimic them. People hate that. My mother chose me to be the keeper of the oral tradition in my family. That's really important to us Jews. We've been hounded all over I really right now I almost want to just really say, how dare you ask me if I think that Jesus is my Savior after I told you I'm a Jew? I've listened to the brightest rabbis on this planet give these beautiful, eloquent lectures that citing chapter and verse that I've already read and studied and contemplated for 70 years now as to why we Jews do not accept Jesus as our Savior. And you know what? That's a really dated, because to tell you the truth, he kind of created hell on earth for us. He created hell, period. We only have Sheol, the eternal grave. We don't believe that God is that wicked. You might want to look in my eyes right now. I'm pissed off. I had trouble sleeping last night. I almost died last night from a blood clot. It was a possibility. Then God healed me. That's really, I asked him to take me, take me in my sleep today. And instead, he healed me again. I think he's got one last chore for me to do. I don't know what it is. It's so many of you people. I'm good, white, Christian. I ain't got no Jew in me. Y'all don't even know Jewish names, A lot of y'all carry names that I know, and I've got a rabbi he works for Department of Homeland Security. He's got a travel business that actually will take you to every Jewish community on this planet. And anytime I need confirmation of, the bastardizations of Jewish names through all different nationalities and stuff like that, I can count on, I don't want to say his name. He's got to be pretty, when you get hired as a security and an analyst for Department of Homeland Security, you know your stuff. A lot of people, you think you're Scottish, you think you're Irish, and some other stuff, or you think you're French, and I can tell by your name that you're not. Coonasses don't even know that they're who the hell they are. I'm amazed at how people have really no interest in who they are, where they come from. They're creating that. And you know what? They're only really concerned that I'm like this new, I'm an American and all this and that. And you know what? My parents were more like the American ideal. I told you already. This is like the third time. In my house, I sat at a polite, functional dinner table and stuff. Most awesome food. My mother was a heck of a awesome mother. Was awesome. The proper term is food chemist. That's where I learned food chemistry. Her cooking produced a total of 5 All-American Meanwhile high school, 5 All-American awards, 4 All-Pro awards, I think 3 Pro Bowl invitations, all kind of, and because height, strength, really is all nutritional, not genetic. It's rarely, your height is almost never genetic. It's in what we call internal environment. That includes some external, climate, childhood diseases, and food. And my family's, most people, I'm already gone 14 minutes. I haven't even barely begun to express myself. Let me take a moment here for you. One of my ancestors, to the best of my knowledge, was a Venedita Fernandez. That's where the dark hairs come from. I got all my ancestors' hair in my beard, the red, blonde, dark blonde, and brunette, which turns clown orange in the sunlight. Venedita Fernandez was a conversa who eventually escaped to England and married into my family, bringing her Jewish genetics, her Jewish mitochondria with her. The great Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I'm going to be just throwing out because I told you, but the anger, it makes me hard for me to focus. all you liberals out there and stuff, oh, yeah, a lot of them, you claim to be Jewish. The great Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was so stupid, could have ended the Depression in 1 year just by printing the money that was squirreled away in mattresses, just the paper money that disappeared. 1/3 replacement would have taken only 1 year. Drug it out forever. Really bad manager, weird guy. And when Hitler evicted many branches of my family, he turned them away. They ended up either speaking Spanish, and many branches of my family died in the camps. This is what's right now. I'm thinking about Bruno. Sorry, my best friend had to deal with a stepmother and stepson killing the 6-year-old son, beat him to death. It was amazing that they weren't up for execution. They'll never get out of prison. And he had to go through all those pictures of the body and all this stuff, try to look for some way, because this is America. He is a devout religious person. His dream is to save somebody from the execution chamber. Actually, I think I may end it right about here. So the person that this is really, who prompted this, who earlier bragged about she was in criminal law before and stuff like that. Well, I've been around too, dear. And stuff. As a matter of fact, I've had a hell of a life, a lot of which you can't find a record of it, because either my employer, because they employed me when I was not of legal age for that deal. State of Texas didn't pay my, because I was working for Texas A&M when I was a teenager, and you're supposed to be 18 to work at the farm. I have a great resume. I don't have to pad my resume. I've been around. I'm a well-traveled person who still loves, I'm sorry. The anger makes it hard to focus. You people that are supporting Palestine clearly are uneducated. This was a situation that was set up by conquest and the British decision to create a Jewish homeland. Because, the Brits, one of the first, of course, like they had like one of the first Jewish prime ministers, Benjamin Disraeli, one of the first, my English ancestors were pretty tolerant of we Jews, because the English are full of Jews. And by the way, the English are not Anglo-Saxon. That's, the oxygen isotopes in the teeth. We English have been there forever, and I am an Anglo and German and Viking. Yeah, you don't find the Viking blood came in there. It's Jew with just a little drop of Spanish in there. That's me. And considering how everybody on this planet has benefited from Jewish genius, the fact that we've won 27% of all Nobel Prizes, that we've pretty much entertained, have entertained the world. We're the heart of, we created American humor. We're Mark Twain's comment about Jews. You need to read that, about what a durable, persevering, and highly, hard to kill group of people we are. And there's Actually, plenty of us now. It's just not many of them are. I try to be Orthodox, and we're kind of going off the rails. But there's some things that you really have to live with. I'm going to finish up now because I'm at 20 minutes. I'm angry at a good friend because they started making moves on me. On Should have had the good grace after I already told you I'm a Jew. And my mother converted to Christianity, to not even ask the question. We've already had some discussions on it. Christians feel compelled to convert. Unfortunately, you've converted a lot of us right at the moment of our death. And you killed us. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of all the lies and crap, because maybe I'll do another video tonight to explain to you why exactly the land of Israel is ours, both genetically and by right of conquest. If you haven't read the Bible, you don't know that we absorbed the tribe that fooled us. Really evil people occupied that land. God commanded us to kill them. I think pretty much any decent people would have killed them. We slaughtered. I'm the only rabbi. My people call me Rebbe. They respect me because when I lecture on the Torah and the Tanakh and stuff like that, I tell the real story, the whole story. I don't hide it like other Jews. I am going to end it here at around 23 minutes. Please, I've always freely, openly admitted that, yeah, there was probably going to be some payback in there, because read the book of Numbers and followed by the book of Joshua, the general who led us into battle against the baby roasting, baby eating Canaanite, sodomite weirdos that God wanted gone from the land he promised unto us for conveying. We were chosen only to convey his words and his law. Jesus chose us to occupy the city of heaven that he describes in the book of Revelations, and that has created 2 millennia of envy and jealousy from what are now Christians and Muslims, because one Jewish rabbi named Yeshua chose 144,000. If you've never read the book, the City of Heaven is pretty precise on even all the metrics. I'm really sick of this shit. I tolerate. You can talk about Jesus around me, but don't try to convert me. Actually, I'll end with this. The last person who tried to convert me ended up waiting until I fell asleep, stole my backpack because he knew my medication was in that backpack. And I allowed my next bank card to go to his address, and he just threw it in the mail out of spite, because he couldn't convert me, and because I'm a Jew, I'm smarter than him, and he thinks he is the new. He didn't even know Jeremiah. He couldn't even quote. He didn't realize that what he was doing was acting like the prophet Jeremiah. I am full of the wrath of God and can hold it in no longer. That's the way he was acting. And he didn't even know. But that's the way it is with meth heads, schizos who hide their meth use, which is also what that Christian was hiding. His local here, whose friend or whatever ice picked me in the neck. He actually thought I was accusing him directly. I've got that, by the way. I screenshot it. I screenshot all that stuff before I delete it. Don't make me put it back up. Don't make me put it up here. I'll quote you word for word. You sound really stupid, dude. That was some of the dumbest. You're not a bright guy. You might be able to do some little. You really. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to go 30 minutes here. I'm trying to. You really have no idea how much. Great. Where the hell did I put my lighter? These two entities, the one known as Yeshua and the other one known as Muhammad, have done everything they can, including the present war, and to wipe out our people and try to displace us as the ones that are going to go to heaven. They're to a Jew, it's Jesus did not fulfill our scriptural. There's no talk of a second coming. Isaiah, that's required for Hebrew scholars. Isaiah said that when the Moshiach comes, the earth will be healed. It's 2,000 years later. What do you think a Jew thinks? Huh? I am going to end it here around 27 minutes. I absolutely went ballistic because some TV station was repeating the Hamas version of an IDF military target about all the children that were killed and maimed and all this stuff and those poor, Palestinians and yada yada. And you're looking right there in the middle of the photograph, or row after row, just a line of the pipes, the water pipes that they turn into rockets. It was the IDF precisely targeted a rocket manufacturing facility, and you can see the row of empty rocket tubes right there on the ground while they're making this. Oh, we used our children as human shields. See, that's the difference between you fuckers and us. You use your children to protect your rockets. We use our rockets to protect our children. We're Jews. You can't fuck with us anymore. We have 1,000 nuclear devices now. We never signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. You people need to stop fucking around with us Jews. As a matter of fact, your cybersecurity, your money protection comes from Israel. Israel, the cyber unit and the IDF. That's sort of, I think even Google is I'm on a platform right now that's an Israeli invention, Jewish invention, and stuff. It's all, gosh. I don't care. I'm in like 28 minutes. I've decided my final statement. It'll be around 30 minutes. Early this year, I had, among many injuries, I had a subdural hematoma. So I was having my memory checked and mental function checked all day long, 2, 4, 6 at a time. And towards the end, I even had a shrink. And she kept talking about this, and you're such an accomplished person, all this kind of stuff. And I said, that's what you keep missing, doctor, when I telling you about things and situations, is about the green-eyed monster of envy. That's what you kept forgetting the whole time. Is that a lot of the problems I've had with people in my life is because they're envious the same way that Jesus made the whole world envious of Jews because he selected us. Read the book of Revelations. You think it's just the Jehovah's Witnesses that talk about the 144,000? No, it's right there. It's in writing. Then outside the city of heaven is for all the other Jews and the Gentile, the Gentiles, but the Christians, that's paradise. There's the city of heaven, then paradise. Please read it. You know what? Most of the translations of the Bible that are out there are absolute junk and garbage. My mom joined the one Christian sect that hired Hebrew scholars. Yeah, they're not stupid. And by the way, 750,000 of them died in the death camps with the Jews. Now you may know who I'm talking about. And I know I can always call on them and ask them for copies of their translation, which I've read them all. It's the closest. Yep, 32 minutes. This is probably going to take me 30 minutes to upload. Once I get past like about a gig, it'll. And the thing is she'll probably watch. She stays up late. She'll probably watch it tonight. That video I put up last night, 2 other people watched it the moment it became available, and YouTube actually tagged on the Rainmaker ad right next to it. I did that deliberately. Actually, I know how to. But I'm a Jew. I will die a Jew. If you're going to kill me, get on with it. If you got to kill me to get your Jesus to come back, go ahead. You keep trying to kill me, and you're not very good at it. You keep trying to kill us, and you're not very good at it. We're not going away. Simple as that. And don't forget, without Jewish genius and Jewish tenacity and Jewish perseverance amongst the little 10 from which I descend, you don't. You can't name your cousin that died at the Alamo. Who the hell are you but just a tourist in my land? This is my Israel. Born a Jew, going to die a Jew, and actually, I don't expect salvation. I'm a bad person because I go by what the book says and stuff. I have an overabundance of pride. And once you go 30 minutes, they're going to mess with me. And there's another thing I've only confessed to one friend. The Lord already knew. I have never asked for my name to be put in the book of life. I know I'm not worthy of it. My best friend is, though. I'll vouch for him. And my mother, she's a shoo-in. Mom, you're a shoo-in. And she went Christian. I don't think even that is going to piss off God. Adonai, El Shaddai, you are truly the Almighty. Thank you for the miracle you gave me of taking away the interstitial bridging. Once again, I wouldn't be alive or walking today. I was going to kill myself. It was that bad, yeah. So, if you got to kill me to get your Jesus back, you go ahead and do it. But stop trying to convert me. It just pisses me the fuck off. I'm done. They're going to try to limit the upload because it's over 30 minutes.